Hello, team and Kyle. So arrhythmia happened, and I knew I'd be making this video sometime after arrhythmia, but I didn't expect that it would occur in the bathtub. But that's what I'm being told to do. Do it right now, so I'm doing it. First of all, I want to really thank you guys for being in it and for doing it. Really specifically for bringing arrhythmia to me and to Allie, and plant medicine in general. It all came about after the first meditation retreat. We found out about arrhythmia. We found out about this place, Amaro Spirit, in the jungle, where I was called to go. So I did my first ayahuasca a year ago in November. And you know. So let's get down to it. Yes, thank you so much for all that you do. I know that for Kyle, I understand now that it takes these kind of big leaps in the beginning, but then after that, like, all the help in the world just shows up and it becomes this totally co-creative thing, and you have this wonderful team around you, and it's you guys all doing it together, and I totally understand that completely now, because it's already started to happen for me a little bit. And it's amazing, and it's easy, and anything's possible, and the world was not at all what I thought it was. It's not at all. So, okay, what does Flow Group represent for me? I think one big thing that it represents is seeing my own value from like a monetary, financial, energetic perspective, and what my time is worth and is valued at. One thing that happened at Arrhythmia already when I was filling into rebooking, was I really felt like I was supposed to be there with Kyle, with you, Kyle, and with Taita. And so I asked the lady about that, and she's like, well, they don't, when Taita's here, no one else is here, because he has to meet with everybody. But maybe they have 2 weeks, one and then the other, and you're supposed to be here for 2 weeks. And I was like, that resonates. Okay. That's already more than I would think, because I didn't have money to go to Arrhythmia in the first place. Reality provided that. It's magic. It just happened, and I trusted and I went with it. So I'm like, okay, 2 weeks. I don't have any source of income at the moment, other than reality, right? And everyone's bank account being mine, which is true, but technically, I don't have one. So I was like, okay, yeah, let's check the schedule. And we looked, and there's actually a week in between, and it's spirit science. And I'm like, okay, Jordan, cool. Allie met with him. She was there, spirit science, when she went. I'm like, let's just book all 3 weeks in April. I guess I'm supposed to do that. And so that was similar to Flow Group, an energetic leap about like my value and the ability for money to come into my life, or abundance in any form to come into my life. So I said yes to that, and it was a Trinity too. So I'm like, okay, this is crazy. And so Flow Group, and that in the cost of that, like, Flow Group's not. I mean, it's like the cost of 2 of those weeks, right? A little bit less, and it's 2 days compared to 2 weeks. So it's that much more of a commitment to myself, to my value, to believing that I need to step in and do what I'm being told to do. So it represents that, which is really big for me, because I used to not spend any money on personal development. That started in October of 2016. I went to my first workshop with this guy, Steve Pavlina, and it was like $300 for a weekend. And it's just, I've kept investing since then. And then this, if it's still $7,500 for 2 days, that's going to be like by far the biggest kind of commitment to myself and my growth ever in my life. And whether or not, like, even if it doesn't happen, I don't get selected and it doesn't happen, I've still made that kind of commitment just by putting this out there, making the video. So that's already happened. Also represents me really surrendering. It represents total surrender to the divine. I think of it as the feminine part of the divine, kind of the story writer, the playwright of the unfolding reality. Just surrendering to that and doing what I'm called to do. And that's massively picked up since the end of Rhythmia, or really the second ceremony on, just surrendering to what is meant. And I knew this. I knew let go and surrender. I knew trust. I knew these things, but having evidence of what happens, and I've had it before, but not like this, not the evidence of the divine playing out in my life. I haven't had that evidence before. So of course, flow group represents like going there and understanding that we're going to get to more of who I am, right? We're going to get to even a deeper truth about me through that work. And like, it's going to be Kyle, it's going to be part of it. The other people that are part of the group are part of it, and all the team is going to be part of it. And I'll be helping all of them too, right? I have a role to play in all those people's lives also. And it's important. It's important for both people, all the people involved. So it represents that. It represents my value and what I bring to the table and the importance that it has. Okay, I guess I will move to the next one. What am I willing to let go of? I think I've let go of some major things recently, and I know that more of what's not me will continue to come up and be shown throughout this process, throughout being there, certainly in the time between now and there, absolutely, and in the time, after that, like we're doing the 90 days, like I'll just be letting go of all the things that aren't me, that aren't my truth. Something that I've seen is that the leaps we're called to make, what they really are is not something that's outside of our comfort. They're only outside of our comfort because there's a lie on top of them. There's a lie on top of them, and they're really us expressing exactly what we are, right? Our natural expression of what we are. And the only reason it feels like a leap at all is because there's that lie there, sitting right on top of the truth that is us, that's always been there. So letting go of like this layer of lies is something else that I would be letting go of. Letting go of doubt that creeps in occasionally, that this thing that I understand now is true. I think that comes up occasionally for me, and just letting go of that doubt, because it's not real, and it'll come up sometimes. Like, I know I won't always be in this energy, right? And so it's important for me to have a daily practice. So I think maybe that's the next thing. What will I become? What I'm willing to become? What will I do? That kind of question is someone that's so committed to surrendering, to listening to the inner voice, to the divine voice inside me, completely trusting it. Someone that has a daily practice of connecting and clearing out the bull, right? That accumulates just naturally through life in the world of forms. That stuff just accumulates as a natural course of being a human, and we have to have a practice of getting out of there. So for me, one that I'm doing right now already is the day 100 breaths, or maybe 5 minutes of breathing, of breath work, every morning, to just connect back in. Continuing to eat really clean. I'm going to go back to no alcohol at all, because it's easy and it makes sense. And for me, that's the kind of thing. What else am I willing to become? Just exactly who I am, exactly who my inner child wants to be. I'm willing to become that, which is all of it, I think. Become exactly who I always was meant to be in this life. That's what I'm most of all willing to become. Yeah. So let's Kylie go. I remember 90 days ago, I went to Flow Group with Kyle and the beautiful, amazing people that were also synchronistically selected to be there, and the team. And it was the latest and greatest, most expensive experience of my life. right? It pushed the boundaries of where I had come so far. It helped me to see what I was meant to do on an even grander, bigger scale. I found some things that I could let go of, even more little things, more little lies in my body to be released. I was present with them. I was brave. I was courageous there during flow group, and those things they left. I found that there was a really important reason that the other 3 people and I were there together. That we had work to do together to support each other and moving forward. And that it was just really, really important and key for us to come together at that point and work together. I found myself letting go of expectations and assumptions even more than ever. Because what came out of flow group, like in my mind, what I thought was going to happen, it's never exactly that. And so I was able to just surrender to the unfolding process of what came after, of the seeds that were sown during that time, during those 2 days, and then what beautifully grew from that. That was not what I could have exactly envisioned, you know. I thought I planted an apple tree and it was a tree of spirit with untold magical things, fruit coming off of it that I could have never even imagined. And I eased into a beautiful daily practice of connecting to the divine within me and listening and clearing out. And I surrendered. I surrendered and I trusted every day, and kept following the information coming in and kept looking at what else I could get rid of that was a lie. And that's it. You know, that's the secret. That's the key to the whole thing, I think, right now. And I was open to that not being the secret and the key, and that there was more that I didn't know, right? Even more for me to discover and find out. And I did over those days. And just like always, I was never the same, and I was okay with not being the same, and okay with changing over these beautiful 90 days. And amazing, unbelievable things happened. Abundance, community, giving at a level I had never ever give before. That's what happened. Giving on a grander scale than I could imagine, in a way that I didn't fully know I was meant to give in. And I just went with the river that was flowing, that created that I was part of always. And I just love, so present and loving with life in every moment. Being that observer, that witness to life, I really was able to just fall into that, and I don't have to do much more than be a loving space for myself and witness the beauty of reality and just do what I'm called to do. And everything is magical. I learned that, and it became my absolute dharma to do that every day of my life by the end of those 90 days. that was it. So thank you. I of course would love to be selected and for things to play out that way, but if I'm not for some reason, I understand that that's a very valuable lesson in there for me, and that's what I need instead. So I know that you guys will tune in to your guidance, and exactly what's meant to happen will happen. So thank you so much. Thanks for listening. I love you. I appreciate you. Happy to hear what comes next. Bye.